1010XL 92.5 FM.
It is officially Clean It Up Week here on the home of the Jaguars. Coach, you didn't even attempt to get the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. in the first half. Yeah, we need to clean that up. Coach, you turned the ball over 2 times. You only have, 9 takeaways? 9. That's actually a stretch. 5 takeaways. We need to clean that up. And that's really been the mantra. That has been the slogan. You know how you... whatever it may be, as far as any type of given cliche about getting together and getting better and getting stronger. With the Jaguars this year, I honestly think clean it up would be the best way to define the way things have gone 11 games in. Will they turn the corner? I mean, this is a incredibly dysfunctional division, arguably the worst in pro football. And the way I look at things right now, if this team goes on a run, they could get back into it, due in part because of how poorly Houston has played, although I think it's a stretch. And I also think it's scary. That's the part of all of this that I hate for you as an NFL fan. All right. Certainly you want to win the game. The bye's been long enough for you. Houston comes in. You remember knocking them off a year ago. Remember being 8-3, being in first place? Remember having a year ago at this time the top seed in the AFC? 8-3 was the Jaguars' record. And then they let everything collapse. They lost 5 out of 6. They took that hangover with them during the offseason. Obviously, they didn't make the right moves, particularly throughout free agency. They continued to go with that slow and friendly offensive line. It's just been a brutal offseason, and it continued into the season, where I have always believed that if you consistently lose close games, that means it is an error by your coaching staff. If you get blown out like you did a week ago Sunday by the Detroit Lions, and you allow them to score the first 7 times they touch the football, and you allow 645 yards defensively, then, yeah, that's a gap in talent, no doubt. That is a difference between a team that has it going on and a team that does not have it going on. But when you lose because it is, one possession each and every week, to me, that is about coaching. So this should be interesting. All week it's been about in-house changes. What can you really expect? Is there going to be anything that we're going to notice as far as the eye test on Sunday? If there is, in fact, a change with play calling, will we know that? Doug Peterson, who, by the way, has screwed this up, it's all on himself. It is. And whether you want to say he was too transparent, he let out information that he didn't have to let out. I mean, coaches lie all the time. Okay? I mean, they are some of the greatest professional liars that we have. I often think that they're better than political figures because it feels like when you miss politically speaking, it's right there and you can identify it, where in the world of athletics, you can always give a little bit of coach speak to it, provide a little bit of tomfoolery, maybe point the finger at someone else. We've seen that time and again. But there's no one to blame but Doug Peterson. He never had to come out before last year and tell us about how the play calling changed with Press Taylor. So he put that on himself. That would have been just an obvious assumption, and one that, frankly, no one would have asked. Now, with 6 games remaining, seems to be the school of thought that, now's the time. Desperation. Doug Peterson calls plays. Press Taylor's microphone doesn't even work. We'll see if the Jaguars do, in fact, respect that and make the proper changes. With that said, does that mean Trevor Lawrence is going to play? I think we'll have a really good idea about that tomorrow. I do. That's my opinion on Trevor Lawrence. My guess right now is that he will give it a go here against Houston, and it doesn't really feel like it because of the way that these teams are both playing, even though, the Texans have 7 wins on the year, it feels like they're far worse than the record. Obviously, you're fully aware of what's gone on with the hometown team, but, just kind of looking at what I thought this could be year after year after year with C.J. Stroud and Trevor Lawrence really setting up for one of the great duels in all of the NFL. We haven't had great quarterback rivalries. Probably the last really good one that we had was Brady Manning or maybe Brady Mahomes. Right now we got a pretty good one with Mahomes and Allen. But in order to really identify what I would say is a great quarterback, battle, don't you have to win it? Don't you have to win it all? And that is certainly not the case for Josh Allen, and obviously that is nowhere near the case right now for either C.J. Stroud or for Trevor Lawrence. But I was looking at the numbers a little bit earlier today. Stroud last year as a rookie, 23 touchdowns, 5 picks. Took care of the ball. He had a rating over 100. It was absolutely outstanding. Had an average PER of 8.2. This year, 14 TDs, 9 picks, an average of 7.3. And his quarterback rating is 87. As a matter of fact, he's gone 4 consecutive football games with a sub-80 rating. He is not playing well. He is making quite a few mistakes. So there is an opportunity here for the Jaguars to pull off the upset at home. All right, it's good to have you with us. With you tonight till 8 o'clock. As always, a lot happening on this Tuesday. The in-house changes. Gave this a lot of thought a little bit earlier today. And again, what is recognizable is one thing. What is happening behind the scenes is clearly another. There could be much happening during practice, an off day today when they get back after it tomorrow. I don't know what, in fact, will actually be provided to you as Jaguar fans as far as some of the changes that were made. I don't know if we'll get any type of information. My guess would be that they're going to, keep that amongst themselves. But when I look at the team and I look at the mistakes that they've made and things that they can change now with 6 games remaining, there really is quite a few. Number one is obviously Peterson calling plays. That was the number one storyline the entire offseason. That was the number storyline going into the beginning of the regular season. And again, it's really reared its ugly head and taken on a life of its own. As I just said, it's 100% Doug Peterson's fault. I mean, is this season done to the point where now there's no salvaging it? And hate to do it, but I will. Just go back 2 weeks ago and look at you Gator fans. You were done. I mean, you were done. You said, that's it. Get rid of this guy. And Strickland came out with the release. You got murdered in Austin, but you played hard. You went down fighting in Austin. Texas was a better football team. But I just remember the chorus. I remember the reaction. Then all of a sudden, you beat LSU. You beat Mississippi. You're flipping recruits. You've gotten 3 now from Florida State, including the 4-star running back. Florida State, outside of the local kid here, the offensive lineman Thomas, let me give you a little bit of good news if you're a Florida State fan. You don't have to worry about losing any more recruits because there's no one coming into Mike Norvell's class that any other school wants, okay? It's as simple as that. Mike Norvell has destroyed Florida State, okay? He has literally put this program in the grave, all right? Not a one-year reprieve and, they're going to go down the transfer portal and find a way to push a button there and push a button there and send an NIL here and send a card there. And all. No, he has destroyed this program. He cannot recruit, okay? I mean, Willie Taggart could recruit. Bobby Bowden was the greatest of all time. Jim Buffett. Mike Norvell cannot recruit. And you're going to get the on-day daily 5-star flip, which will probably end up being Thomas, who knows? I think he's out of range. He's either going to go to Florida or LSU if he does do that flip. But anyway, where I was going with this, when you take a look at what the Jaguars now need to do and changes that need to be made. Excuse me. My point is look at 2 weeks ago. And this is what is so wonderful about athletics is that nothing else changes like this. Changes like this don't happen in a 2-week period professionally. If you're on the cusp of being fired, if you're circling the drain, you may get an opportunity. You may get an attaboy. You may get a backslap. But you know if you're that bad and it's that well off that you're still looking over your shoulder. That's not going to be the case in your personal life, okay, with your lovely wife or your hunky husband, right? If you're that out and that against it, you're not going to be able to turn that around. No flowers or chocolates or anything like that can turn things around like that in a 2-week process. It certainly can't happen politically speaking, even though today was a huge day, right? I mean, everything's got a link and a link and a link and a link, except for this, except for sports, because we're sheep and we're so, easily controllable. And Florida's the greatest example. Lame ducks, down and out. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, hey, Florida's the place to be. They're going to pound Florida State. They're going to play right here in the Gator Bowl. They got a really good chance to win that game. They got a really good opportunity to come into next year as a top 15 program. Okay, DJ Lagway returning, talent around him. Can you imagine what the offseason buzz and the hype is going to be like for the University of Florida? So then all of a sudden you get back to Jacksonville now. 6 games remaining, all incredibly winnable contests. This is a weak schedule. This is the weakest in the NFL, especially if you can somehow get by Houston. But we've heard about in-house changes. What are they going to be? Number 1, get the damn football to Brian Thomas Jr. I don't care if Mac Jones is inept. Get him the football. If it's Trevor Lawrence, get him the football. If you throw a pick 6 because you're trying to get the ball to your best player, deal with it. No more of these 0 targets in the first half. Not getting the football until midway through the third quarter. Identify who your best player is. It's Brian Thomas Jr. Already 11 games into his career. He's Jacksonville's best offensive player. It's not Trevor Lawrence. It's Brian Thomas Jr. Get him the ball. Number 2, run the freaking ball. Line up and run it. Tank should be good to go. ETN, I still think, has a lot to prove. Get after Houston. Get after Tennessee, Indy, New York, the Las Vegas Raiders. Run the football right at them. If you're able to have any success whatsoever running the football, that should open up things that much more for your passing offense. Defensively, here's an idea. Play Eric Armstead only at defensive tackle. No more of this rotation. No more of these hand games and what is it, rock, paper, scissors, whatever the hell it's called, on the side. No, play him at defensive tackle. Play Walker on one edge. Play Hines Allen on another. And while we're at it, forget about the foolish rotation basis. I get it. Every once in a while, they're going to need a blow. Every once in a while, they're going to need to take a knee. That is common. But not a registered, hey, it's your series. No, wait, it's my series. I mean, come on. Think a little bit more clearly than that. Also, Ventrell Miller, he needs to play every snap. He has been your best defensive player this year, not named Trayvon Walker. I think so. Devin Lloyd, who knows what his future is going to be. They're not going to pick up that 5th-year option. You're not going to pay him that amount of money. They're not using him the right way. He looks lost. There's a glimpse every once in a while of incredible talent. And then there's just the lost soul on other plays. All right? Aloha Khan is still very effective. He just can't cover anyone. That's another big problem for the Jaguars. They can't cover tight ends. Their linebacking core is abysmal when it comes to covering anyone. But Ventrell Miller has brought with him a tremendous amount of youth, okay, and a lot of, I think, excitement when it comes to getting after the football. That is it for Ronald Darby. Appreciate your service. Appreciate your leadership. Appreciate you coming in and shutting down half the field. But it's over. You know, we got to find out about Buster Brown. How healthy is he? Went down with his shoulder his last time out. Tyson Campbell on the other side. It is fully time for youth movement in your secondary. Campbell, Brown, Jerry and Jones. Play them. Play them every down. Set your foundation. You've got the worst safety combination maybe in the history of pro football. Okay? Andre Cisco, right now, if you lined me up and put me in the slot and I ran a sharp, crisp, disciplined route, Andre Cisco could not cover me. Okay? I don't know who is more out of shape, Andre Cisco or Gabe Davis. The good news is you don't have to worry about – you think Gabe Davis is excited about Thanksgiving coming up on – are you kidding me? I mean, he's eating himself out of the league. That's a problem that you no longer have to worry about because, unfortunately, he is injured. Okay, there's 5 that I just gave you off the top of my head. 5 things that the Jaguars absolutely should change after what Doug Peterson described as in-house things that are actually happening that we are not aware of at this particular time. Fill me in with some others. What else would you like to see change? Do you agree or disagree with what I just said? Why do I think, unfortunately, I just wasted valuable airtime? We'll know nothing about the play caller on Sunday. Ventrell Miller will still be third in snaps as far as linebackers are concerned. We'll see Eric Armstead getting plenty of reps in, rushing the quarterback from the defensive end position. It's going to be Ronald Darby manning one side of the field as a corner. It's going to be, I guess that's basically it. Oh, Brian Thomas Jr. Maybe if that was the pick one, I think that would be it. Maybe an opportunity for Brian Thomas Jr. to get the football a little bit earlier than we have seen the last couple of games. Matter of fact, against Detroit, they did get to him relatively early. I'm thinking at the prior games before the Lions matchup. Anyway, it's a good opportunity for you to get on in on that. If you would like to, as always, the best way to do it is on our text line, which is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All right, when we come back, I want to do that. I also want to get to Mac Brown, outed today, fired by a basketball school. And that's it for Mac. Good old Mac. Good old North Carolina. The flagship. Every single year we take that track and we go all the way out to Charlotte. And every year we say to the overfed sports information director, do you think there's any way that maybe we could have 5 to 7 minutes with Mac Brown? We're the third biggest radio station here, only behind Miami and Atlanta. Do you think we could have just 5 minutes with Mac? Overfed sports information director says to me, no, we got to get to dinner. We cannot do that. Oh, for like our last 11 years. North Carolina hates Duval. North Carolina hates Jacksonville. Mac Brown, good guy. You know, not a great coach, but a good guy. And I'm actually surprised he lasted this long. His problem was obvious. Didn't matter if he brought in Gene Chizik or anyone else. Couldn't play defense at North Carolina. They keep on producing NFL quarterbacks. They put up 40 points a game. They just can't stop anyone. Dan Mullen to UNC. I know Mullen doesn't want to recruit. Can Mullen just get to someone and say, open up the wallet and pay him? How is the NIL at North Carolina? To me, that sounds like a pretty good link. Mullen, everyone else I've seen, for the most part, is the hot offensive and/or defensive coordinator. But again, North Carolina, as you know, this hurts a little bit, but not really. It is a basketball school. And Mac Brown was there, went to Texas, won a natty, of course came back, and has been really about a 500 coach since he has returned with the Tar Heels. All right, Shmunez Vision. Listen, I've been a big fan of Neil Shmunez now, Dr. Neil, for quite some time. And I always talk about wants and needs when it comes to your eyes, because it amazes me when you just examine your overall body, how we neglect the eyes. So we always put away the eyes. You know, we'll get to that down the road. Oh, something else is more important. Yeah, I feel like I need to get checked, but I'll wait to another time. Don't keep doing that. You only have one set of eyes, okay? And, getting something as simple as laser eye surgery, and I say simple because combined with Dr. Catherine Shmunez, you're talking about more than 30 years of experience when it comes to laser eye surgery, okay? Go ahead, make an appointment today. I always would describe that as a want, right? Having 20/20 for the rest of your days. What about a need? What about a serious problem? Maybe you're noticing it. Maybe you have redness in your eyes. Maybe you have, some sort of waste or debris when you get up in your eyes, and whatever it may be, and you're concerned about it. Well, that's pretty common, all right? And when you look at Shmunez Vision, it could be something as serious as a cataract scenario, where maybe they have another remedy that's not surgery. If, in fact, it is surgery, maybe cataract is the way to go. And if so, you're talking about Dr. Neil and Dr. Catherine Shmunez and more than 30 years' worth of experience when it comes to dealing with your eyes and surgery with your eyes. So make an appointment today. Just go to Shmunez Vision. The best way to do it is check them out online. You can also get them on Instagram and get all of their testimonials from the clients out there who have been big fans of Shmunez for quite some time. So let's kick it off. We got a lot to do. It's a Tuesday edition. My name is Rick Ballou. This is Into the Night.
He is our quarterback savant, and he'll take you inside his mind.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet.
Frank Frangie here. This November, Nimnik Buick GMC is honoring the brave men and women who have served our country. Nimnik is proud to announce their partnership with K9s for Warriors. With every vehicle purchase, you're helping provide highly trained service dogs for military veterans and supporting the K9s for Warriors mission. This month, Nimnik Buick GMC is offering a $500 military appreciation discount on select new Buick and GMC models. So who makes your purchase go further for veterans? Nobody but Nimnik. Shop 24/7 at NimnikBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Movember is Men's Health Awareness Month, so take charge of your health and vitality at Ackerman Urology in Mandarin, Middleburg, The Beaches, and World Golf Village. For prostate and urological needs, trust Ackerman Urology. AckermanUrology.com.
Hey, folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it. They do it, whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857, or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Roland Reich Plumbing, there when you need them. Big or small plumbing problem, call Roland Reich Plumbing anytime at 260-7059. 260-7059. Where quality and experience count.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rolling.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 23rd.
It's Thanksgiving week, and Monahan Jewelers has the best deals in town with up to 40% off the entire store. Thousands of beautiful pieces are all on sale with fantastic prices on our entire inventory, including up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds. We're your local family jeweler, so come visit us today and on Small Business Saturday for up to 40% off on diamond studs, engagement rings, colored gemstones, our designer brands, custom design, everything. The name you can trust in fine jewelry, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and I just want to give a huge thank you and congratulations to Awaken 180 Weight Loss on their 10-year anniversary. Paige and her team have changed lives, mine included, with a solution that lasts. I'm glad I found Awaken 180, and I'm confident you will be too.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. Beaver's annual Black Friday silent sale. Every car on the lot will be discounted so low, we can't even show the prices on TV. Doors open at 6 a.m. Friday. First come, first served. And once they're gone, it's over. Plus, anyone who buys between 6 and 9 a.m. will get a big screen TV and $1,000 cash. Want more? We're giving away free oil changes between 6 and 9 a.m. The Black Friday silent sale only at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. You don't want to miss this.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Remember tomorrow night, dollar oysters at the Blue Crab Crab House. That is the deal every Wednesday night. $1 steamed oysters. Tonight, $2 margaritas. $9 margarita pitchers. That's good till 9 o'clock. Spent Friday night there, and it was just insane. Incredible. Right off of San Jose, located on... God, my mind's left me. I must need a day off. Can't even think of the freaking road. I only mention the ad every day. We're right off of San Jose on... I don't know. Clean it up. Clean me up here. Will you, JJ? I can't even think of it. Any idea what it is? I'll get out a gift card to the first person who could tell me.
It's located on Julington Creek Road.
I've only said it 10 million times in my life. I think I am burnt the hell out. I think Mike Norvell destroying my alma mater and Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson destroying this team has taken its toll on the host of Into the Night. I don't think there's any other way I can say it. Just being around all this losing sucks. It sucks. It really does. But anyway, Mac Brown fired today. And did I really, someone sitting here saying I called him a great coach? Did I really call Mac Brown
No, you said
coach?
He wasn't a great coach.
Oh,
he's saying he is a great coach.
No. Not a great coach at all. Very, very, very average coach. I mean, he was sensational at Texas. It's kind of crazy to think he only won one national title at Texas with all of that talent. But he never won anything at North Carolina. I remember going to, I think it was my first trip to UNC. Oh, gosh, was it 1997, 1998? North Carolina had so many good defensive players. That was like the Dre Bly team. and an unbelievable front seven, and they were supposed to shake up the world and really be a solid college football contributor. Florida State went in there and just handed it to him. And, of course, he left and went to Texas and came back and had some really good offenses, did Mac Brown. But, the difference there is that he just couldn't get anything done defensively. But you just look at what's going on now in football. And where have these coaches gone? All right? You look at a year ago at this time. You had Nick Saban, won national titles. Jimbo Fisher, won national titles. Jim Harbaugh, who will go on to win a national title. Mac Brown won that national title at Texas. Now, they're all gone. As far as I know, that leaves us with 2 national championship coaches out of 134 jobs. You have Kirby and Dabo. Kirby's on the verge of a heart attack in game. And Dabo was a guy that they were ready to give up. They were ready to give up on him a year ago. The one guy that says, forget about the transfer portal. I'm going to stay with the guys that I recruit. We're going to try to keep them here. And we're going to keep building up Clemson the way that they always have. And there was a lot of negativity with that. And Dabo, a better year this year, still not where they were supposed to be. I mean, they're the 3rd best team in the Atlantic Coast Conference behind Miami and SMU. But again, look at all the negativity that he dealt with during the offseason. So that leaves us with only 2 national championship coaches in the world of college football, if my math is right. Again, if it's not, correct me. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Oh, by the way, the NFL. Gone now is Bill Belichick. Gone now is Pete Carroll. Gone now, Bruce Arians has been gone for a little bit of time. So when you look at Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, okay, you have Sean Payton. You have Andy Reid. You have Mike Tomlin. You have John Harbaugh. You have Sean McVay. And you have Doug Peterson. You have 6 out of 32 in the NFL. And you have 2 out of, I believe it's 134 in college football. I mean, how crazy is that? This business that they have chosen. It simply is a hired to be fired process. And look at all the changes that we're going to deal with this year. I mean, are we going to have some big jobs that open? North Carolina right now probably is the most attractive job. I can see USC opening up. I don't think Lincoln Riley is there for the long haul at Southern Cal. LSU, that would surprise me. I don't know what the buyout is for Brian Kelly, but it just feels like they've seen enough. Brian Kelly doesn't win big games at LSU. I'm getting more and more on the text line. People keep asking about Florida State. There's nothing you can do about Florida State. Okay? You got drunk and you married her. You had to wake up the next day and take a good look at her. But you got wasted and you married it. And you're stuck with that thing for years. And I don't know what to tell you. Because I've always yelled about the fact that he's a terrible in-game coach. And I've given you example after example after example, even when they were winning 19 in a row. He's never been able to recruit. He's bad on the trail. I mean, I don't know what he does. You would think Florida State would recruit itself. It doesn't. He's had success in the transfer portal. We'll give him that. Absolutely. But Florida State's not going to open. So are there any other major jobs in the world of college football that we see that is going to open this year that'll be, someone that is considered a blue blood, someone that is in the realm of being a national championship contender? You see one, JJ?
No, I also don't see Lincoln Riley getting fired.
I think he leaves. I think he leaves on his own. I think he wants to go to the NFL.
Maybe. I don't know if an NFL team would hire him right now, just because it's like the lowest you could get. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't see an NFL fan base being happy with that, so therefore I don't see an NFL owner reaching out. But LSU, definitely. I could definitely see that. Just things haven't been good on and off the field. The recruiting has not been great. They're losing guys. They might even lose their star cornerback. They've had penciled in there for a long time. They just lost the number 1 quarterback recruit in the nation last week to Michigan right after losing to Florida on the field. And then, you know, Kelly's blowing up at players. They're blowing up at him. Like, the fans were never really into Brian. He's not one of them. So I could definitely see that.
Even when he faked the accent?
Oh, my God, especially when he faked the accent. So, but there's always a surprise or two. But to me, LSU would be the one.
Well, I would have said Auburn before a week ago.
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze has really been dealing with it.
But he's been doing so good recruiting. Like, they have like a top 5 class. That's why I always thought he would be safe after this year no matter what. Venables got a contract extension even before the Oklahoma deal or win. Yep. So he's safe there.
Been a lot of injuries this year at OU, skill position wise,
and their defense is still elite, which is like what Venables does. He was brought there to be a defensive guy, but they need somebody to turn that offense around.
You know, I think there's some middle of the road jobs that could open. West Virginia, Virginia Tech,
absolutely,
Central Florida, Arkansas. You know, it would be really cruel. Is all of the reported jobs that Mark Stoops was offered at Kentucky if all of a sudden he end up being shown the door. I think what you have to ask yourself if you're a Kentucky fan, even though you're down this year on Mark Stoops, at a basketball school in the SEC, can you do better than him? I think that's what it comes down to.
And probably not.
Yeah. But I just don't think there's going to be as many, really quite a few big names. And, something else could happen, like, there's talk that maybe Brian Freeman could go to the NFL.
Notre Dame coach.
So all of a sudden Notre Dame opens and that becomes just an enormous job. I mean, Notre Dame, it's not even mentioned anymore that they lost to Northern Illinois. I mean, that's been like, if there's one thing that is, in my opinion, been erased during the 2024 regular season, it's that game actually happened. I feel like it's not even a big talking point, and we'll see what happens tonight with the latest release of the college football playoff rankings. But I can't think of another coach in college ball right now that would be in danger of leaving and becoming a head coach in the NFL.
No, you would never think of Kirby to do something like that.
No. He'd get laughed at. You can't yell at those NFL players the way he yells at those college kids.
I'll give you one that I think is maybe a couple years down the line, but not this offseason. Dan Lanning.
Okay.
I think he's definitely going to have to be mentioned. I love him. I think he does some boneheaded stuff in game with going for 4th down too many times when he should just take the points. But I feel like everybody does that now.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't,
Why do I believe
he's
Dan
not
Lanning?
Too much different than everyone.
Why do I believe Dan Lanning would be like Notre Dame's major target?
That would be a huge hire for them.
It feels like Oregon is still, and we know why Cristobal went back, and we saw what happened with Ted. But it feels like Oregon is not the one that you marry.
It's like tier 2.
Yeah, it's a rebound.
But
it's
there
a rebound
is that
from a marriage.
tier above. The Alabamas, the Florida States. I definitely, the LSUs, I agree with you. Oregon, to me, no matter how great they've been over the last 20 years, it's not that tier 1 program for head coaches.
Yeah. So I guess in a crazy world, you could have USC and Notre Dame.
Well, what about if a Ryan Day loses this weekend? I mean,
you can't fire him.
Dude, I could definitely see them firing if they don't make the playoffs and lose to Michigan. Or I guess, are they still? No, I guess Indiana would go in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because they would have 2 conference losses.
Yeah, Ryan Day's hearing. He's not hearing as bad as James Franklin at Penn State, but he is hearing it. And, yeah, this is one of those deals where you talk about pressure. Man, they absolutely have to knock off Michigan. They lose to Michigan after all the changes that Michigan has gone through, then that is going to be next to impossible for him. And I wonder what happens there. I mean, Mike Vrabel makes a lot of sense. How about the Urban Meyer Mike Vrabel story?
I haven't heard
that came out today. I'll share that with you here on the other side of the break. I'll actually do a little bit of a radio tease with that, but it's classic Urban, and it's truly one of the greatest stories that I've heard this year in all of sports involved with anything that deals with coaching. Let me find this real quick here. Let me see. The Buckeyes. Well, that's it. Yeah, just Michigan at noon. 10-1 after knocking off Indiana. So they win that game, then they'll play next week in a Big Ten championship game against Oregon. But they have to knock off Michigan, and they should. They're a big favorite, and as well, they're playing that game in Columbus. So we'll see what happens there. One of many good games coming up here during rivalry weekend. All right, let's come back. Take much more. I'll give you that Mac Brown, the Urban Meyer, Mike Vrabel story. I guess it happened during a Manning cast. I've never watched a Manning cast, but I guess it happened during that this past, or I guess it was last night. So anyway, give you the very latest there. And if you haven't heard, I think you'll find it amusing. Also, give you an opportunity to get on in. We've asked you to clean it up on this Tuesday as far as in-house changes. What would you do with the Jaguars, something that you could see on the field? I gave you a list of 5. I'll go over them again. The best way to get in is 641-1010. That is the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle. It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle. Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting! Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlion from MyBookie. Thanksgiving isn't just about stuffing your face, it's about stuffing your wallet, and MyBookie's got a bunch of killer promos to help you do just that. Thanksgiving Day, MyBookie's boosting the odds on Devon Achane to score the first touchdown in Dolphins versus Packers. If he scores first, you cash in big. If he doesn't, MyBookie's got your back with a full refund. That's what I call a no-lose bet. Starting Monday, MyBookie's Telegram prize pool contest kicks off. The pool starts at $15,000 and grows by $5,000 for every 1,000 new subscribers. All you have to do is join the Telegram channel by December to lock in your share. You'll find the Telegram channel link in our MyBookie videos this Wednesday on the 1010XL social platforms. This Thanksgiving, load up your plate, grab your phone, and lock in your picks. MyBookie's giving you risk-free football action, a shot at growing prize pool, and if you're new to the family, they'll double your deposit with my promo code 1010XL. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
With this week's upcoming matchup against the Houston Texans, the Jaguars' defense will be tasked with covering a dangerous Texans offense. When the two teams played a couple of weeks ago, the Jaguars held them to only 101 rush yards. Tony Boselli spoke on the difference in this Sunday's matchup now that they have Joe Mixon back in the backfield healthy on the Jaguars' Happy Hour show.
The other challenge this week for this defense, which they did not face the first time we played Texans, remember, Joe Mixon was hurt. And when Joe Mixon gets it going, they're a different animal. They're a different animal, both in the screen game and the run game. He's good in the screen game, too.
What week did they play them?
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, with you tonight till 8, tomorrow night 6 to 8. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. We'll be off Friday as well, heading off to Tampa. Tampa's still ahead of Jacksonville as the losingest percentage in the history of the NFL, which is encouraging. Even though Tampa's won a couple of Super Bowls, they still are percentage points below your Jags. Jacksonville at 200 and 278 lifetime. Trying to get the 201 this Sunday against the Houston Texans. 30 years to the day, the choke and the doke. And that might be the greatest definition of fandom ever witnessed. Because when it was 31-3 Florida to begin the fourth quarter, 3/4 of that stadium was gone. They were in the parking lot. And then Cannell, touchdown. Danny Cannell, touchdown. Danny Cannell, Warwick Dunn, touchdown. Kez McCarvey, touchdown. Rock, what was it? Rock, not Peterson. Oh, gosh, man. I must be getting old. It was 30 years ago. I was on the field when it was Warwick Dunn and the Rock. Touchdown to tie it at 31 apiece.
Preston.
Rock Preston. His brother, Roll Preston, played for Mississippi. I want you to meet my kids, Rock and Roll. They just started filing back in. It was one of the most unusual set of circumstances I had ever been at live, the Chokadoke, 30 years ago. Sacrifice. What would you sacrifice as a sports fan? You know, would you, if you're a Florida State fan, would you, because this year's over, would you sit through a winless 2025 if it meant a guarantee that Mike Norvell would never coach again? Okay? Jaguar fans, would you lose out the rest of this year? Would you sacrifice that if it guaranteed that Trent Baalke would not return? Okay? Mike Norvell has to return because it's a bad marriage. What if Jacksonville wins a bunch of these games and the cost is Baalke stays? Sacrifice is hard. I'm not telling you which way to go here. There's a lot of football left. There's 6 games, winnable games. You know, is 8 and 9 enough to get you there? Probably not. But it could make things exciting again in the month of December. What are you willing to give up in order to gain something long term? All right, let's get to the Mike Vrabel story. This is incredible. Okay? He was on the Manning cast last night, and Urban Meyer, apparently, according to Mike Vrabel, went on to say that Meyer had absolutely no idea who he was. Here's the story. When Urban Meyer was coaching the Jaguars, he bumped into Vrabel and said, "Do I know you?" Vrabel responded by saying, "Yes. I'm the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, and I worked for you at Ohio State for 2 years." That was his answer. The only thing I can think of that even comes close to complementing this story, and JJ, I told you about this, I think, off air a few months ago. I want to say Ricky Henderson and John Olerud, believe it or not, were both on the New York Yankees at the same time. Because when you think of Olerud, you think of him obviously as a Toronto Blue Jay, where Ricky Henderson also was. And I think they may have won a World Series in Toronto.
I actually think of him as a Seattle Mariner.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay. Well, legend goes is one day they're taking batting practice, something crazy like that. I guess it was like a midseason acquisition. Either Olerud was added or Ricky was added. And, Ricky says something to him like, "Why are you wearing that helmet?" And he's like, "Well, I do because I have this condition, so they allow me to wear a helmet even when I'm playing first base." And Ricky looks at him and goes, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I played with a guy like that earlier in my career." And John Olerud looks at Ricky Henderson and says, "That was me, Ricky. We played together in Toronto."
Part of me, I actually, great story, by the way. I actually believe this. Like, I don't think it was Urban trying to, punk a guy or try to act like he's superior in any way. I think Urban was absolutely aloof at that point in his career. Another story that they told on the Manningcast that I'm also just now seeing, Urban Meyer was coaching a celebrity flag football game.
Oh, no.
And Owen Wilson, the actor, was on his team. And he goes up to him during the game and says, "Who are you? I don't know who you are." And Owen Wilson says, "I'm on your team." So this is like, I don't know, man. I find it hard to believe that he would just totally disrespect a fellow coach in the NFL like that.
Yeah. That's why I believe he didn't know who he was.
That's what I'm saying. I actually believe that he's just aloof like that, which is shocking. I mean, we all remember the Phoenix Cardinals comments. Who was the running back that he brought up?
Oh,
Mixon, Joe Mixon, right?
Was it Joe? Or was it Connor who went from Pittsburgh to Arizona? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But I remember being at that press conference and we were like, what is he doing?
Yeah, he consistently made simple mistakes regarding players' names and just teams. So, yeah, I think he just wasn't all the way there towards the end.
You know what's weird is we see older people. I mean, look at me tonight, for crying out loud. I forgot a Rock Preston's name.
And Julington Creek.
And I forgot Julington Creek Road, the home of Blue Crab House, where it's probably because of the 30 Miller Lights I drank there on Friday night. But the older you get, you start to forget things, right? You just do the simplest of things. And we see it with older coaches. We see it with political figures. They forget where they are. They forget what's going on. And that's part of getting older. There also is the CTE angle, where you may see someone who is younger, but they've been dinged so many times in the noggin that they forget what's going on. And one of the greatest examples of that is when you see old boxers
oh my God,
getting interviewed. But Urban doesn't fit into that category. Urban, there was a space shot about him that was so different from what we witnessed when he was at Florida, and then from afar, what we witnessed when he was at Ohio State, where he was as sharp as a tack and was aware of absolutely everything. But there was that mystery about him his year here in Jacksonville.
I'm not even going to say what I'm speculating. I'll just keep it at that.
Well, you're going to have to tell me off air.
I absolutely will.
Yeah. I don't, because, it's not like he was old.
No, I think there's things that make your memory... that hurt your memory.
Yeah. Mike Vrabel's only 49. Mike Vrabel's going to be a head coach somewhere next year. Mike Vrabel, I think, once the official announcement will be made and you start getting that short list of 5 candidates, whatever, I think Mike Vrabel will be on the name here. I wouldn't go after Mike Vrabel for 2 reasons. Number 1, I want an offensive coach in Jacksonville. I want an offensive coach who works with Trevor Lawrence. I don't want a great defensive coach. The exception would be Belichick if he brings Josh McDaniels. The last thing I want is Mike Vrabel to come here, turn this organization around. He has a great offensive coordinator. He's thought of so highly of that in a year or 2 you lose him to another team as a head coach, then Trevor has to start all over again. The other thing is that he's a firm disciplinarian. And I just don't think that this Jaguar roster, even though it's going to change tremendously, I don't think pro football players today can handle the discipline. It's equal rights. There's no longer teacher, student, coach, player. It's all on the same page. It's don't raise your voice. I don't like the tone of your voice. And I'm not saying that that's just here. It's everywhere. It's today's NFL. Look at players throwing coaches under the bus this week. He had the rookie wide receiver.
Neighbors
throwing Brian Dable under the bus. The guy's played 10 games, 11 games. That doesn't matter. You're going to throw him right under the bus. A rookie wide receiver. That's today's game. And you have to lean more towards the player's coach. I think it's a very interesting way of looking at things.
I understand your reservations 100% for Vrabel, but you would never have a team as soft as this with Mike Vrabel as your head coach.
In the ditch.
That just would would not fly. Like, everyone knows the Jags are the softest team in the NFL. It just wouldn't happen like that. They wouldn't give up in a game against Detroit like that. But yeah, I agree with you. I'd want a guy to work with Trev.
Everyone listening remembers C.J. Stroud's comments on Fred Taylor a year ago. And that's my point. Mike Vrabel should be able to walk into a locker room and it's automatic respect because he's a coach. He's a coach who's in shape. He's a coach you wouldn't want to meet in an alley. And he also played at the top level and won Super Bowls. I mean, what more do you need to bring as far as your resume? But it does not connect with today's push. They don't care. And that's league-wide. That is a college football problem, and that's an NFL problem. And I don't know how you're going to be able to fix that. That's why we're going to see another 6 to 7 to 8 firings this year in professional football. All right, coming up on 7 o'clock, we get another full hour with you tonight till 8. You want to join the conversation? 641-1010. Our text line is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Get inside the mind of Jags coach Doug Peterson.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have butterflies.
Coach Speaks. Fridays at 4:05 on The Franchi Show.
I want to win.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. Beaver's annual Black Friday silent sale. Every car on the lot will be discounted so low, we can't even show the prices on TV. Doors open at 6 a.m. Friday. First come, first served. And once they're gone, it's over. Plus, anyone who buys between 6 and 9 a.m. will get a big screen TV and $1,000 cash. Want more? We're giving away free oil changes between 6 and 9 a.m. The Black Friday silent sale only at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. You don't want to miss this.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Thankful 30. Did you take Awaken 180 up on their offer last month of dropping 30 pounds by Turkey Day? If you did, congrats. Easy, wasn't it? I dropped my 40 pounds in just 9 weeks. So I knew it was possible for you too. And now you're enjoying the biggest food week of the month, guilt-free. Knowing you're going to keep that weight off with your metabolism on fire and free support for life. Stuffing, gravy, and my personal favorite, pecan pie. Everything's on the menu, guilt-free. Maybe you didn't take me up on the Thankful 30. No worries. It's never too late to start. Maybe December will be your month. And why not? Awaken 180 was built to help you lose weight through the holidays. Parties, adult beverages, the only weight loss program built for real life, and all without medications. Go into the new year with a different resolution this year because losing weight matters, my friends. Thanks to Awaken 180. Reserve your consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay. Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The holidays are coming, and so is your family. Is your septic system ready?
Honey, why is the yard bubbling?
Dad, the dog's swimming in the septic tank.
That's one way to greet the in-laws.
Don't let a septic disaster be the highlight of your holiday dinner. Call Duck Duck Rooter today and get it fixed before Uncle Bob finds out the hard way. Duck Duck Rooter, your local septic experts. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Greetings from Daytona, where a band of dreamers took a strip of beach and turned it into a proving ground. The Great American Race, where year after year, greatness is the destination.
Drivers, start your engines, let's go!
So book your experience miles of history and tradition. The Daytona 500, February 16th, 2025. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
Huddle up this season at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. Enjoy their famous wings, new cocktails, and happy hour deals at the perfect spot to catch all the football action. Escape the ordinary. HurricaneWings.com.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service in the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. Propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full-service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Hickens' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The fourth installment of the college football playoff rankings coming up. We'll keep you updated on that after 7 top 25 teams went down this past weekend. Just incredible in the world of college football. Look who stopped by. My good buddy Danny Van Sickle. Always good to have him in studio. You're getting me kind of cold there, man. You got the flannel on and everything like that. I'm still with the T-shirt, but it was chilly here the last couple of days.
It was, and I'm warm-natured, man. I like to be warm. I cannot stand to be cold. That's why I will never take a job or move up north. No, there's just no way.
Well, not too often people go up there unless it is a good job, but you have people like me that will say, forget about it, leave when they're 18, come down here, then never leave.
Absolutely.
Good to see you. Danny Van Sickle with the Electrical Training Alliance. Now, the last time we talked, you were getting ready to hop on a plane and go to South Bend, Indiana. I know the game didn't turn out the way that you and I wanted, but how was the experience at Notre Dame?
Experience was great. Very salt of the earth people.
Yeah. Midwest people are really, really kind. Yes.
Let me tell you something. You walk into that stadium, an usher comes up to you and says, "Welcome to Notre Dame Stadium." I think to myself, man, I just can't recall the last time I went to Gainesville and an usher went up and said, "Hey, welcome to Florida Field."
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen, right? And I'm sure it doesn't happen in LSU or Tennessee or any of those other places. So, no, it was a great experience. Glad I got a chance to go. Got to see, all of the landmarks as well.
No.
Obviously wish the result would have been different, but even before we went up there, we knew it wasn't going to be a good game. And just let me preface anything we're about to talk about over the next 5 or 10 minutes. Let me just say on the front end, I realize Florida State is a very bad team.
Mm-hmm.
So anything I say, don't look at it as looking at through FSU, rose-colored glasses. I get it. I know what they are. I've watched every single game. I've went to several games in person. So you know what they are. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do? I mean, you ain't going to switch. A real fan's not. Right?
No.
And so all you
but
can
you
do,
can be angry now.
Well, you know what? When you've watched them as long as I have, and you've been angry as many times as I have in the past, eventually, Rick, you start to get to the age. It's like, man, there's more to this than just being angry about my team not being good.
Mm-hmm.
You wish it would be different, obviously, but here's what you have to look at, right? So first of all, a little bit of context. I did a quick peek, and this is before this past week. Did you realize that 7 of the top 10 teams all had transfer quarterbacks? 7. I counted them, 7, right? And when I went further down into the playoff bracket, I think it was something like 10 of the top 14 teams all had different or had transfer portal quarterbacks. So I think what you're going to see now, it's not going to be like it used to be. Now, if you can get a special player like a Lagway, okay, that's still going to be out there. And make no mistake about it. We can, rib them all they want to. The bottom line is they hit. They hit on their guy, right? Florida State did not hit on its people. And by contrast, they did hit on their people the year before.
Yeah,
their best players, Jones, Fisk, Verse, all top 2-round talent, all transfers in, right? So I think you can't look at things now the same way you looked at them 10, 15, 20 years ago. 10 or 15, 20 years ago, could you imagine a team going 13-0 and then going 1-9?
Oh, my goodness.
It would have never happened, right? Yeah. So if that's inconceivable, then wouldn't the same be true the other way around? It is possible that a 1-9 team could go 9-3 the next year. Whereas 10 years ago, a 1-10 team becomes a 5-5 team, becomes a 7-3 team. Well, it's not like that now. But the key is, and this is the key, you got to hit, man. And the evaluation staff that Florida State had, which in the end, the head coach is the one that's the most accountable for it. But the evaluation staff did a poor to terrible job evaluating the talent that they brought in. It shows on the field. And now you have those results. As far as the coach, I also kind of put it like this. 12 years ago, Jimbo Fisher left FSU for an SEC team. And most FSU people were like, this can't happen. I think that's right when people realized the power and the money that colleges had. Because before that, it was all about being an NFL coach, not necessarily a college coach. Well, that paradigm has changed now. College coaches make tons of money compared to most NFL coaches, right? Can you imagine what it would have felt like, you, as a Florida State fan, if Mike Norvell would have left Florida State and went to Alabama 10 months ago?
And I would have been very upset about that.
So
at the time, after winning 19 straight games.
Yes. So
there's no doubt.
I understand. You know what? In the end, you are what your record are, and he doesn't have a good record, and it doesn't look like a good coach. But you also have to look at it from the perspective is what choice did they have? If he had went to Alabama, who could they have possibly have brought in? If they had brought in anybody else and they went 1-9, can you imagine everybody right now, FSU fans included, that would be burying the university and would have said, how in the world did you let Alabama take your 13-0 coach and now you are 1-9?
Yeah.
So I look at those things like, all right, well, we got them, and they're not paying $65 million. They got irons in the fire with the indoor training facility, the lawsuit, the NIL house money that's coming. They're not getting rid of them. So you have to ask yourself, what can he do? Because coaches like that, and I heard y'all talking about Urban Meyer earlier. It was real funny because, you would think he would have had that drive when he got here, and that drive was gone by the time he got here. Most coaches like that have a drive to them. As bad as it might feel to be 1-9 right now, I guarantee you, it probably hurts him more than any other person.
They're 2-9.
Yeah, we won this past weekend.
2-9.
I wasn't thinking about the victory. We got to take it, man.
Win.
You take any win that you could get, all right?
Yeah.
Listen, he's going to try his best to turn around. You know what? He might not. And if he doesn't turn around, then next year they will get rid of him, and we will start our over. And the last one I kind of want to make about him is you're absolutely right about the negative momentum. The blue chips are leaving left and right. They're going to Florida. The great thing about Google, man, you can look up things in about 30 seconds. I looked up right before I walked in here. Billy Napier lost 6 4 and 5 stars in a 3-week period in December last year. 6.
Yeah.
Now ask any Florida fan now how they feel about their team, and I bet you they feel pretty good. So
ask them 2 weeks ago how they felt.
Exactly. So it just goes to show you things can change really quickly. Again, losing those 4 and 5 stars is devastating. I get it, but you know what? It could be a lot worse. There's time to turn this thing around. You wasn't going to have a top 20 class to begin with, and you just have to kind of work with what you have in there.
They're 2-9. If they were 5-6, a lot of these kids wouldn't have flipped. They flip because they're 2-9. They flip because they have been the laughingstock this year of college football. It wouldn't be considered a down year like Michigan is having, like USC is having, like a lot of these now LSU is having. And I think it's changed the way of the thinking of these young kids. What Mike Norvell has to prove is that he can recruit incoming freshmen. And this is going to be a devastating freshman class. So he's going to have to go back out into the portal and probably bring in more players this year than he has the last couple of years. and he has to hit. And I'm glad that Kromenhoek got the start, and I'm glad he played well. And I'm wrestling with this because part of me is like, just throw him in there. Let him play this Saturday. Let him be the guy all off season. Let him be the guy to get ready for 2025. It's not like Florida State's going to be a national championship contender. Let him get better and better. The other part of me is, well, wait if you can get John Mateer out of Washington State. What if you can bring over their offensive coordinator, bring in another, transfer quarterback that did not work this year with DJU, but there still is an opportunity, as you pointed out, with 7 of these upper-ranked teams in college football being transfer portal quarterbacks. Florida State still has a chance to strike in that area.
And that's what they have to concentrate on. And listen, like I said at the very beginning of this, it's not all rose glasses. If you look at the people that Mike Norvell has brought in, he has not been a great recruiter. He has not brought in an abundance of blue chips. He had Travis Hunter for 22 months and lost him to, at that time, a Division III team, whatever their division is, FCS, whatever it was before we went to Colorado, right? So obviously he hadn't been able to close. You know what you do? First of all, if they had went 5-5, like you were talking about, they probably would not have fired the defensive coordinator, the wide receivers coach, the offensive coach. You know what? He almost looked like to me he was relieved whenever he let go of those guys a couple of weeks ago, because I don't think he could have done it with a 5-5 year. I think this gave him everything he needed. Obviously, those weren't working. If you look at our wide receivers, how bad has the wide receiver play been this year? Against Charleston Southern this past week, how bad has the offensive line play been this year? I didn't think offensive line could ever get worse than what it was in 2002, 3, 4-ish. I was wrong. It has. It's gotten worse, all right? So now is your time to bring in better coordinators. And if you look at the other side of the ball, too, do you think Adam Fuller would have been as successful? He didn't have Braden Fish, Jared Verse, and Jerry and Jones on that team last year, who were all first and second round picks.
Not to mention his linebackers. Yeah. It was so important.
Exactly. So I think now is the time you bring in someone. And listen, it's dog eat dog out there. If you've got somebody that's got some recruits that come with them, then that's what you do. Jimbo Fisher hired Jeremy Pruitt. That's the only reason why Jalen Ramsey ever ended up at Florida State. Ever, right? He was going to be at Tennessee or he was going to be at Alabama. Jeremy Pruitt comes in. You bring Jalen with you with him when he comes. They win national championship. That is what you do. And you know what? The reports are they spent a lot of money this year. They just spent it badly, but they still spent it. Right? I would rather them spend it and it be bad than for them not to have spent it at all, because that gives you even worse connotation, right? So the collective, the Battle's in, whoever's in charge over there, they need to do a better job of evaluating the talent, and they need to pay them. You go out and find the best possible offensive lineman that you can. You pay them what you need to pay them, and you just roll with it.
It's going to be fascinating to see what happens with the transfer portal now open, what type of guys leave. If there's any hesitation at all, I want them gone. You know, we saw the DJ Lundys and the Patrick Paytons and the flirting and get paid, and I get it. I mean, you get an opportunity to get paid, but if you're not a guy that is 100% devoted to that program, even after an awful year, let him go somewhere else and bring in someone who wants to play at that university. That's the way I feel. Danny Van Sickle's our guest, joining us here with the Electrical Training Alliance. All right, for Florida State fans, that ends in 4 days. The Jaguars have 6.5 weeks remaining, with what appears to be, Dan, a relatively easy schedule here. If you get through Houston, I mean, you could win. They may be favored in those other 5 games. I know it's crazy to think of right now because they are actually number 1 in the NFL draft, but what do you make of the Jags here now going through this bye week?
I think that last year with 5 games to go, they were number 1 in the division, had a bye, and didn't make the playoffs. So if you look at what they have ahead of them, look at it on paper. Well, if you looked at it on paper last year, they were a lock to make the playoffs and was probably going to be a division winner. And you saw how that turned out. I'll be honest with you, I don't have high hopes, only because when you watch how they played this year, right? You watch them against Detroit, and I'll give them credit. There was some games like against Houston. I mean, they lost on the last play of the game. It ain't like they're getting blown every single week, right? But as you watch them through the season, it just seems like to me that the coach just isn't quite there sometimes. And I don't think it's because he's a bad coach. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think that he is just shell-shocked because I don't think that him or anyone else in that building thought they were going to be like this. Now, they told everybody this is the best team they were going to have. And I don't necessarily believe that they believe that either. I don't think they really believe they were going to have the best team they ever have. But I guarantee you they did not think it was going to be like this. They probably thought it was going to be somewhere in the middle. They thought by now they would have 5 or 6 wins. The end of the schedule was set up for them where they could make a little run, get into playoffs. But when you look at it now you just want to do your evaluation. You want to see the guys play hard. You want to see if they can get out a few W's out of it. I'm not a guy about tanking and get number 1 pick. I'm just not. You end up where you end up at. And if you look to, and this kind of goes back to the college thing, you can turn around a team pretty quickly in free agency if you hit. You got to hit, right? How did the Jaguars do when they signed Hugh Douglas?
Didn't work out.
How did the Jaguars do whenever they signed these other Bryce Pop?
Yeah,
right?
Carnell Lake.
Yeah,
you know
right?
why Bryce Pop was so good? His 2 stops, he had Reggie White and Bruce Smith on the other edge in both Green Bay and Buffalo.
Yeah, so your talent evaluators have to do a better job than what they've been doing, obviously. But at the end of the day, they have an owner that's willing to spend money. The quarterback ain't going anywhere. So I say that you use that. You use that and Brian Thomas. You go out, and there's so many needs on this team. You hear people say, well, that they got to shore up the offensive line, or they got to get tougher on defense, or you know what? To me, it's like pick your spot. If I'm going to pick my spot is you go out and you get you another down the field wide receiver, someone that could take some of the pressure off Thomas. Because I guarantee you now, with the year that he's had, moving forward this year, he's going to get double team on almost every single play that he does. That safety is going to be on his side of the field, no matter which side of the field he's on. And that's just going to have to open up some one-on-one opportunities with those other receivers. If you could get you 2 of those kind of wide receivers to stretch that field, one of them is going to get open. I think that's where you need to go with it.
And I'm petrified because I have a feeling they're going to go defense. And I'm all about getting better in the ditch. I would absolutely address the offensive line in free agency, address the offensive line in the draft. And I have no problem with getting another wide receiver because I think it's it for Christian Kirk. And Gabe Davis, because of his guaranteed money, has at least 1 year left, but he's not the answer. Okay, Electrical Training Alliance. What's the latest?
We just wrapped up our last application period. It ended in November, so we are doing our interviews now for our January class. Interviews are going great. We had just an overwhelming response. Like we've had a continued overwhelming response over the last 3 to 4 years. Our numbers have just gotten bigger and bigger. We are interviewing more people. More people are applying to get into our program. And that's exactly what we want. We want to cast a wide net. We want the opportunity to be there for everybody out there. They just have to do their part, get all the information in, and then if they qualify for the interview, come in and get ranked high enough in that access.
All right, tell us about whether you're in a midlife crisis, a job change that you would prefer to make, and if you're young and you're considering college, or maybe you don't have the funds right now for college, this ain't going to set you back in the wallet.
It is not. And we have immediate openings right now. We've got openings for people who don't even get into the apprenticeship. People that just want to maybe be an electrician for 6 or 8 months and see if this is what they want to do, right? I mean, I knew it's what I want to do when I first got on the job, and I've been blessed. I've been able to do it my whole professional life. Listen, not everybody knows what they want to do when they first get out of high school, whenever they're a young man or woman. So you can go work for one of our companies, and you can kind of see what it's like and maybe apply for that spring deadline. But if you know this is what you want to do, maybe you have electrical experience someplace else and you want to come work for one of our great companies that we have, come over, see us. We can get you placed in one of those companies. If you have some previous experience, probably can get you even more money in your pocket to start off with, and apply and get the apprenticeship. Set yourself on a career path where you can make a real good living.
All right, bottom line is starting out, and once you get through the apprenticeship, you know, what are you going to be bringing in?
Right now, when you finish the apprenticeship, the hourly wage is $35 an hour, and that is just cash in the pocket. That doesn't count free health care. You get 2 pensions that come with that. That total package runs right around $45 to $47 an hour. So you're looking over $90,000 a year is what you make when you finish our apprenticeship right now.
Best way to get a hold of you.
Go to the website, etajax.org.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and the Van Sickle family.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Always good to see you.
Too.
Danny Van Sickle. All right, when we get back, let's grab some of your stuff. The text line is blowing up tonight. 641-1010, best way to get on in. That is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. With you tonight till 8, tomorrow night 6 to 8, and we'll enjoy a happy Thanksgiving as well.
English English is their second language. Their native tongue is teal and black. Let's go! Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony bring you Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
10 to noon on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmaster since '68.
Jags fans, looking for the perfect activity around the holidays? We've got you covered with the inaugural Teal Trot 5K. The race takes place outside Everbank Stadium, Saturday, December 21st. We can't wait to see you there. Your registration includes the 5K, a throwback Jaguars headband, and a ticket to the December 29th game against the Titans. Visit Jaguars.com/Teal Trot to sign up today.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
What is the longest running live radio show? The answer coming up.
With storm season blowing wind and rain, it's even more critical to protect your valuable assets with a policy from Southern Oak Insurance. Ask your agent about Southern Oak today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The
longest-running radio program is the Grand Ole Opry, broadcast on WSM Radio since 1925, almost 100 years ago.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local print management partner and home to Xerox and HP copiers. Advanced Business Solutions. GoABSinc.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we did tonight till 8 o'clock. I'm going to Danny Van Sickle. Tell me really no tailgating this year at Notre Dame. That was a surprise, man. I remember the legendary tailgate for the game of the century in 1993. And I've been lucky enough to be at Notre Dame a couple of times since. I went to, I think it was 2001, the Nebraska-Notre Dame game. Went into double overtime. That was Eric Crouch, Heisman Trophy winner, won that game double overtime. And then I went to, I think it was Chris Rick's best game ever. I want to say it was a 37-0 final. Florida State went in there. I want to say Crefonzo Thorpe. He was either PK Sam or Dakota Fag. Like 5 touchdown passes and complete domination. But obviously that has changed quite a bit. And, it's so discouraging. It really is. I try to say to myself that there's more important things in the world, right? And, you can get down, but you can't get that down. And I've kind of described it this year as almost being like a tube of toothpaste, like you've squeezed it all out of me. And, there's only so much you can let actually bother you. But it stinks when you have the combo of that on Saturday and then the Jaguars on Sunday. I mean, that's hard to overcome. So for anyone who's been in that position, and if you go back through the course of this season, it really kind of felt that way about Florida as well. I mean, there's one thing that I do have. That is a long memory. But we've watched this thing literally go night to day for the University of Florida, and it's going to be an off season. I mean, right now, you take the temperature at UF. They go into Tallahassee and they win. It looks like they're going to play in the Gator Bowl here, okay? And whoever their opponent is, we'll see. You don't have to worry about DJ Lagway announcing that he's not going to play in the bowl game, right? He's a true freshman. Of course he's going to play in the bowl game. So, Florida, you talk about a hype machine. If they win those 2 games and then they get their recruiting class, which will be before the Gator Bowl, and then we'll see what ends up happening with the transfer portal. I mean, it's going to be, who knows how high they will rise. And then, honestly, I think the biggest question for the University of Florida, even though they've done it the last 2 weeks against LSU and Mississippi, it's still going to be this. Can Billy Napier win a big game? He just did win big games. But I'm talking about big games, Texas, Georgia, Alabama. To see what LSU has done the last couple of weeks, yeah, it's a rivalry. Hey, listen, I know they had won 5 in a row. They had won 9 of 11 against Florida. So to just say it's not a big game is a little bit foolish. on my part, but in beating Florida State helps. There's no question it helps because Florida State's won the last couple in that series. And Florida State has won 7 of the last 10 in that series. All right, so knocking off Florida State's going to help. But when you lose to Miami, that hurts. When you lose to Georgia, that hurts. Hey, you beat Tennessee a year ago. That was Napier's biggest win, I would have to say. But that's where he's going to be measured. And when you have a schedule like what Florida has had, that's what it's going to come down to. So, in-game coaching is going to be really intriguing when you look at Florida moving forward. I hate myself for saying this. I literally do. But I actually find that I like this team a little bit. And the reason why I like them a little bit is because they play hard. And I question how hard guys have played in Tallahassee. I question how hard guys have played in Jacksonville. Sometimes the tape doesn't tell the complete picture. To me, the most important part outside of a guy who can work with Trevor Lawrence, the most important part of the next hire for the Jacksonville Jaguars is how hard can that coach get those players to play. Everyone plays hard, but I'm talking about the extra effort. There's only a few coaches who can get everything out of their players for them to take that extra step. That expression, run through a brick wall, for you is gone. Because we've talked about equal rights and how today's players refuse to be coached up and disciplined by coaches and all of that. And it's true. It is. We see it on a week-to-week basis. Players throwing coaches under the bus, position coaches under the bus, taking shots at them on their podcast, blasting them on social media. It's a different world, and it's not going to change. But how hard can you get those players to play for you? That is going to be incredibly important for the Jaguars next hire. And even when the Gators got crushed, I will say this, JJ, I thought the Miami game, I think Florida's changed a lot since that Miami game. Miami whooped them in every phase of the game, and it felt like they quit a little bit in that game. But
I didn't tell because they got like what's his name? I don't even remember his name at this point. The starting quarterback back then. He got hurt in the third quarter.
Oh, Graham Mertz?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Lagway played, but it was his first game.
Mm-hmm.
He threw a pick. The defensive line was all over him. But, yeah, they did lead a scoring drive late in the game. So I don't know if I would say quit, but they were just overwhelmed. It was 31-10 in the third quarter. It was over fast. So, yeah, maybe that game, but you're right. The rest of them, zero quit. Even the Texas A&M game a couple weeks later when Texas A&M went up pretty big, and it was in the swamp, and you're thinking, damn, man, what a terrible season Florida's about to have. They got it back to within one score and made it look sort of respectable. The Tennessee game they should have won. Georgia they should have won. I think if Lagway didn't get hurt, they probably would have won that game. So, yeah, they've been taking L's this year. But and the Texas game, it's hard for me to even count that. With that Warner kid playing, obviously the defense looked atrocious, but what did they, they just weren't motivated in that game
and that's
whatsoever.
A mistake, by the way, not having a third
that other kid on the roster must be terrible for him to not be as good as Warner. But, yeah, Billy, me as a Hurricane fan, I am glad they are bringing Billy back. But seeing what he's doing on the recruiting trail has me a little bit scared of okay, this guy can do a good job recruiting, but is it more of Norvell being so terrible, or is he doing a great job? Because I feel like 75% of the guys that he's getting is from Florida State right now.
I'm glad you said that because that's the other part of it for me. Even though I've been really bragging about Florida, at least giving him compliments, I'm happy that Napier is still the coach and not Lane Kiffin, even though he just outcoached Lane Kiffin.
I agree.
Okay, we watched it how he outcoached Lane Kiffin. Still, the way my mind works, I would be more nervous about Lane Kiffin being at the University of Florida than I am about Billy Napier. And listen, I'll give Napier all the credit in the world. He beat Mississippi. He beat LSU. He's turned the Gators are going to have a happy Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I still wonder, can he win big games?
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more with what you said about Lane. Lane took a program that is Ole Miss and had him in the swamp favored by 2 scores. Like, yes, he lost the game and all that, but I still think Lane's a great coach and he's going to do great things.
He yesterday, I guess, went off on Mississippi in a very positive way. Someone I know went off on Mississippi earlier this year in a negative way.
I don't remember that.
But it almost felt like it was a let's see how many people correct me on this. It almost felt like it was a John Deere letter.
Dear John letter.
No, it's from Dumb and Dumber. I saw how many people correct me on it. Every time I say that, hey, Ballou, you idiot. Hey, Ballou, you idiot. It's a deer. No, you don't remember Dumb and Dumber? When you bring
literally watched it like 3 months ago, too.
Okay.
That's
so
a shame.
It almost felt like he gave that to Mississippi yesterday. I don't know if you caught wind of his press conference.
But here's the deal. Is there a job opening? We just talked about this. Like,
he's not going to go back to USC.
Of course not. But I guess if LSU
such a better
job. Such a better job. If anything happens with Freeman, Notre Dame's a better job. Like,
I wonder if Lane is Notre Dame material.
You're right about that.
I wonder if he's Notre Dame material. He's still got a little bit of a sketchy past with Oakland, Tennessee, and USC. You know, but he reinvented himself under Nick Saban.
Yeah, he was so young.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I remember when he was here for a year, the reputation he had around here is that he didn't work especially hard. He was a very young coach who obviously had an incredible dad, now the late Monty Kiffin, who did pass this year. Really enjoyed some conversations with Monty in his short time spent here as a defensive analyst. Kind of a back-of-the-bus guy that you just listened to when I was traveling with the team as the sideline reporter. Just incredible wisdom and an awfully nice guy. I mean, sensational guy. But, you know, we were just talking about when Danny Van Sickle joined us, we were talking about Mike Norvell leaving. Without any hesitation, Lane Kiffin would be my guy. Now, hold on, because I remember having this conversation with you a year ago, laughing about Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
My opinion has changed on Deion Sanders based on what he has done this year. If you were to give me full autonomy and say, Norvell's out, who do you want? I'm going Deion Sanders 1, Lane Kiffin 2. Give me either one of those two.
I would definitely take Lane over Deion. Deion, to me, I don't trust him, like how long he's going to be there, how bad he wants to do this job. I don't know if he can recruit, like, the positions you need to on the O-line, on the D-line. Like, you saw how they got ran all over by Kansas the other night. I think Deion's a good coach. I don't know if he's a great coach. I'm not there yet. I think Lane is a great coach. Mm-hmm. And if I was Lane, I would just keep holding out in Oxford until they fired DeBoer. Because I think it could be in a year or two. You know, another 3 or 4 loss season next year. That's not going to fly down there. And I could see him taking the reins at Alabama after that.
I could see that as well.
I was sort of shocked that he wasn't more of a candidate at Alabama last season.
I always envisioned if Lane Kiffin was to go to Florida, he would have been the reincarnation of Steve Spurrier 20 years later. I think he could have had that type of image with the way that he is, the way that he's salty with the media and with opposing fans. You're never,
the offense.
Yeah, you're never going to win at Mississippi. And he has to know that. He's got a young girlfriend at Mississippi. I think his daughter goes to school at Mississippi. There's pressure there, but it's not Florida pressure. Okay? I mean, Florida's going to win a national title again at some point. Florida State's going to win a national title again at some point. Mississippi's never going to win. That's what you have to, and you can 12-team college football playoff me, or you can move it to 24. You can do whatever you want. But you and I know that Mississippi is never going to win a national title. So if you're someone with Lane Kiffin, what's more important? Is it the quality of life? Is it the lack of pressure? And I got to imagine living there is probably a pretty good deal for him. He's the king of the town. But they're never going to win the SEC. And they're certainly never going to win a national title. And that's what he's looking at, unfortunately for him. So I still think, kind of like Dan Lanning at Oregon, that for Lane Kiffin, he's going to take another job somewhere. It's got to be the right job, and it may be Alabama in a couple of years if it doesn't work out with Kalen DeBoer. We'll have to see. All right, much more to do. Take it tonight till 8. Tomorrow night as well, 6 to 8.
When you don't want to wait till tomorrow for analysis of today's game, get it 2 hours after the final whistle. Hacker Leon and Coach Campo bring you the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists, and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Your pipes are leaking, don't get nervous. Fa la 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 la. Call Roll and Reach for same-day service. Fa la 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 la. He guarantees your satisfaction. Fa la 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 la. Call Roland and he'll spring into action. Fa la 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 la. This holiday season, if you have a leak and can't wait a week, dial 904-260-7059. And from the Roll and Reach family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with great sports for kids 3 to 17, and winter and spring registration is open right now. New girls volleyball and flag at Duval Charter, plus plenty for boys and girls in Nocatee, too. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Every weekend is a Stone Cold Sports Weekend. Hey, Dan Hicken here. Watch for the Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll help you put together your sports weekend. Weekend with Dan brought to you by Stone Core. We do the outdoors better.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Rotator cuff tears are the most common overhead injuries I see. In order to avoid shoulder issues, make sure not to overload the front of the shoulder while also focusing on developing good scapular strength and maintaining flexibility in your lats. Proper hydration, nutrition, and supplementation are also crucial to joint and muscle health. Go Jags.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows.
One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, billball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
If you're about to order a floral arrangement for someone you love, then take it from me, 1010XL's JJ LaSalva. Use Kuhn Flowers. That's right, Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers gets it done right.
This season, check out our revamped website at southernsteerbutcher.com. Click on the promotions tab and our Jacksonville weekly grilling specials will hit you in the face like a hot route over the middle.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jacks cool since '87.
College football says goodbye to Mac Brown. He was one of 3 remaining national championship coaches, actively speaking, fired today by the Tar Heels. He will coach this weekend against North Carolina State, but that's going to be it for Mac. 73 years of age, a Florida State grad. Spent 17 years, make that 16 at North Carolina, both pre and post his national championship run at Texas. He's going to go down as, one of the really good guys, historically speaking. If he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, he'll absolutely get in. And he did a nice job with a basketball school. No doubt about it. You look at all-time wins. They still haven't given Bowden back those wins. They gave Joe Paterno back his wins. They didn't give Bobby Bowden back his. Everyone's against Florida State, damn it. Paterno, 409. Bowden, 377. Give him his 12 wins.
I was about to ask how many it was. Okay.
I think it was 12. Then you have Pop Warner with 336. Bear Bryant with 323. Amos Alonzo Stagg, 314. Nick Saban, 292. Brian Kelly, 290. That may surprise you. Kelly won a ton of games at his first stop.
Cincinnati.
It was before Cincinnati, too.
Oh.
You have to look that up. Mac Brown, 288. Then you have Frank Beamer at 287 and Lavelle Edwards at 257.
It was Central Michigan for a few seasons, but before that, he was at Grand Valley State for 12 years.
And all those wins count.
Okay. And that's a great program.
290 career wins for Brian Kelly. I mean, he sticks around. He's going to be over 300 next year, you would think. He's under fire right now, no doubt, at LSU. All right, the 4th installment of the college football playoffs coming up tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit on Wednesday's show. I expect to have Tim Brando with us tomorrow before the Thanksgiving holiday. John Osher, busy day for the Jaguars on Wednesday. I think we'll have a much better understanding as to whether or not Trevor plays or not. I wouldn't even be surprised if Doug Peterson tells us he is going. Keep it right here. We'll give you everything as far as that is concerned. That's going to do it. Thank you to my buddy Danny Van Sickle for stopping by. Hacker Nation's coming up right now. For JJ LaSelva, I am Rick Ballou. Our final show before Thanksgiving. That'll be tomorrow, 6 to 8.